Welcome to my second mental health video of this mental health series I'm creating. Today I wanted to talk about the subject of grieving and why I think grieving is our ultimate salvation as a human species. The world, as I see it currently, is gravely disconnected from itself. In a sense, we are in an era of mass delusion. When you take a look around you, we're creating societies that are built upon the backs of our environment, and we are destroying our environment at a pace that it's never been destroyed before. And when you look at the relationship that we have with our environment, it makes perfect sense. You can draw the parallel between how we treat other people and how we treat ourselves to how we treat the environment. We live in a world that is disconnected, after all. So when we're disconnected with ourselves, we're going to be inherently disconnected from everything else in the world, including our loved ones, including our friends. And what is the solution to this? Well, I think if there's any pathway towards the light, then there has to be a mass realization that comes. But a realization that is painful, there has to be a level of suffering, I guess is what I'm trying to say, for us to recognize all the havoc that we're reaping on ourselves, on other people, and on the world. So, what happens when we grieve, and why is grieving so important to our process of becoming better human beings? I think that when we grieve and recognize the disastrous outcomes of our human behavior and our neglect towards ourselves and other people and the world, that we come face to face with the most pure sense of reality, and we're able to feel it within ourselves. Now, how do we grieve? Well, none other than through tears, none other than through pain. I genuinely do feel that there is so much benefit that comes from crying and understanding just how horrible things really are. I feel like when we do cry, it sends a message to our brain that we must begin to take accountability for our actions and that we must change as human beings. And this fosters the perfect situation for healing, progressing, and moving on. Now, I don't think grieving looks the same for everybody. I think for some people, grieving may come in the form of crying, but I think for other people, grieving may come in the form of making art, maybe writing poems, writing a song, painting, maybe even exercise. Grieving, I think, comes in a variety of different shapes and sizes. And I think that once we grieve and we reconnect with ourselves, that we're able to really bring out the best that humanity has to offer. And it is through this suffering that I think that perhaps some of the world's problems may go away. Now, grieving, for some, it may be a lifelong process. And I do believe that in order for grieving to really work, it kind of does have to be a lifelong process. And I feel like the best outcomes of grieving come when we go out into society and we correct the injustices that we see. I think that is the ultimate form of healing from our trauma, is that when we're able to internalize that, learn the lessons of our trauma, learn the lessons of our suffering, and we're able to go out into society and help others who are also undergoing the same stress and pain. With that being said, I'd like to thank you if you've made it this far in the video. I really appreciate your time, and hopefully in the near future we'll be creating more of these. And thank you once again.